Hey, how's it going, guys? Jeep here, and in front of me I have all the land vehicles, a part of the Cayo Perico DLC, even those that are not officially out yet, and I have them in stock versions, and I also have them customized, so I'm going to be going over the different customizations of all of them, and then also different like subtle performance differences, and just anything interesting that I find about the vehicle from stock to customized that I think would be good to share with you guys. So without furthermore, let's just jump right into it. Starting us off is the Squatty. Now, as you can see right here is the stock version of it. It's pretty plain looking, not really much to it. And then over to the left of it, you see the customized version. So we got a hook in the front, we got the top bars, we have the boxes and bags all over it. Got the axe and shovel right there, the carbon on the exhaust, the chrome in the back, and obviously the wheels look a little different. So it does look a lot cooler when it is fully customized. But let's move right on to their performance. Now, I know this vehicle is probably made for off-road, but I still decided to see what their top speed looked like, and this one, stock, seemed to kind of hit 84, and the customized version of it got up into the 90 realm. It could probably go faster if I had a longer strip, but that's what I was able to do at the airport. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we have the Willy. This is what it looks like fully customized, and let's go over to the stock one first. So here's what it looks like stock. You have these tools on the side of it. Got the canister in the back. Got the spare tire. Looks pretty straightforward. Now here's the customized one. We got the wheel on the top, the bar in the front, the light bar on top, the lights in the front. The wheels obviously you can change. On the back you could take off the wheel. That's what you could do to a customize. Alright, here's what the stock Willy looks like when it takes off. It is super slow. But its turning is not too bad, which is kind of nice. And the top speed I could hit on it on the airport was 64, and this is the customized version. It's a little bit faster, but still painfully slow. And the top speed I hit was a little bit quicker, and the turning is just about the same on this one as well. So 64 or 68 for top speed, what I can hit. Let's go to the next one. This is the Italia Rsx, or as I like to call it, the People's Champ. This is right here is the stock version, the one in the red. As you can see, the exhaust is a little different. Top front of it, and of course the spoiler is a little different. It is one that retracts, and this one, as you can see, the wheels look different, the sides are different, got the whole spoiler. You guys can pause the video if you guys want to take a look at some of the differences, but that is them in a nutshell. And I call it the People's Champ is because it's one of the fan favorites. At least it's one of my favorites because it's really quick. Here's it stock taking off. It gets up there pretty fast. It gets even faster when it's upgraded, obviously. And we actually have videos of this car. We have several videos on this car going over the top speed of it, the speeds it can hit, and some of those might surprise you. I advise you guys to go check those videos out because they're very informative and I would say they're just really cool seeing this car. And it's in the sports category and it beats a lot of supercars in various different types of races. And here it does really well at turns. That's one thing I noticed. It handles the turns really well. It hugs the corners super nice. It's a very well handling car, and it only gets better when you upgrade it. Here it is, fully upgraded and customized, and it takes off even quicker, like getting up to 94 miles per hour very fast, and then hits the turn even nicer and maintains a high speed, and obviously hits its top speed faster. But I didn't actually hit the top speed in this video. We have a whole separate video talking about the top speed of this vehicle, which again is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next car. Up next, we have the Brioso 300. Over there in the green, you have the stock version of it. So let's walk around this one first. Not really much to it. It's a classic car. It looks really cool just on its own stock, but obviously it's going to look a lot cooler once you put in some money. And as you can see right in the trunk area, we have the engine, which is one thing you can do when it's customized. You have the roof kind of gone. You have the lights in the front, and obviously we had the carbon fiber. The takeoff is, as you can imagine, pretty slow for a vehicle like this. And not only that, it can't really turn all too well, and you'll see that right here. It kind of wipes out, which is very unfortunate. On the track, like as far as getting a top speed, on the airport I was able to hit in the 70s, 72. It can turn, you just got to be very, you have to be very aware of what speed you're going with this car. That doesn't change for the upgraded version of it. It does have a faster acceleration, takeoff time, but it still experiences some of the same things the stock version does, like that whole turning aspect. If you hit the turns too hard, this is what's going to happen to you. A lot of wheel spin, which is not very good, but its top speed is a little bit faster on the airport. Hitting in the 80s, I was able to get 81, and the turning is slightly better, but again, you'll still experience some of that wheel spin. Let's move on. Up next is the Weevil. Here's what it looks like stock. It looks like an old VW Beetle. Looks very cool. I do like the stock version. I am a fan of it. The customized version looks really crazy. It's by far one of the biggest transformations I've seen out of them all. There's so many differences to name. I mean, look, the whole front looks different. You got the camber tilted wheels. Got the carbon ascents going left and right, and countless customizations. Here it is taking off. It's definitely faster than the car before it, the Brioso 300, and it definitely turns and handles a lot smoother, which is always good. Here it is hitting its top speed at the airport, 75 miles an hour, respectable for a car of its age. And here it is doing some turns, kind of wide, but it recovers and handles decent. Here's the upgraded version of it. It picks up pretty quick. It definitely accelerates faster for sure. I would say the biggest difference in acceleration between any of the cars we've compared so far. Still handles about the same, slightly better, and it hits a much higher top speed at the airport, 97, you saw it there. And of course, here's the turning again, slightly better. Let's move on to the next vehicle. Next, we have the Vitier, which is the ATV. As you can see it here, pretty straightforward looking. And here's what a customized one looks like. You could add some stuff onto it, pretty much. Those are the customized options I was able to get out of it. Also, the exhaust looks a little different. Here it is going through some dirt roads. As you can see, I was able to get some dirt on the license plate even. So it gets dirty, as one thing I noticed visually as you go through dirt. But here's a top speed, if you will, on the airport. Up in the 60s range, like 65. Here's a customized version of it. Same thing. If you take it through dirt, it'll get dirt caked onto it. And then its top speed on the airport test was in the 70s. I think I was able to get like 72 or 4 out of it in total. Let's move on. Up next, we have the Manchez. Here it is stock. It looks very similar to the Sanchez already in the game. This car is also one of the unreleased cars, and as you can see, the things you can add to it are like a different exhaust, some side accessories. Also, where the gas cap is, you could make it look a little different. The handlebars look slightly different. Overall, very slight differences between the two, but definitely noticeable. Let's go ahead and test some of the things out, like the speed and the wheelie. So wheeling, I was actually able to do decent with the stock version. I was able to hit the turns really well, and 120 something ish, 125 on the top speed, not too bad. And here's the upgraded version, same thing. It hits turns really well, and then its top speed on the airport was like in the realm of the 130 plus when I was wheeling. Let's go on to the next vehicle. Up next, we have the Vito Classic, which is the free heist vehicle that everyone's going to be getting tomorrow, December 18th. Off the go, it goes pretty fast. It turns really well, very good at hugging the corner. And its top speed, what I was able to hit was like 70 on the just a stock one. And on the new one, the only visual difference is the exhaust in the back. The engine looks a little different. The takeoff is a lot quicker. The turns are the same. And this actually has a slower speed for some reason. I was only able to hit 61. I couldn't budge beyond that. And the stock one was able to get 70. That's really strange. But let's go right on to the next go-kart. Up next, we have the Vito Modern. And the only difference from this one, stock to customize, seems to be the engine block. Just like it was for the Vito Classic. And the takeoff speed is pretty slow. The turning is pretty okay. It handles just as well as the Classic, I would say. The turning's not quite as good, but it still turns really well because it's a go-kart. What's also strange is just like the Classic, the Vito Classic, the Vito Modern, once you customize it, for whatever reason, loses speed in terms of like top speed. It went from being able to do like 75-ish to only being able to do 65, as you can see in this next clip I'm about to show you. It just stays at 65 consistently for whatever reason, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Alright, let's move on to the next few vehicles. Up next, we have the Vitier, and here really the differences between them, customized versus not. There really isn't a whole lot of visual difference between them, to be quite honest. Its takeoff speed is not that great, and its top speed is not that great, but one really cool thing about it is you can shove 9 other people besides yourself into this thing, or 10 total, which is really nice. One thing I also noticed after you customize it, it turns a little bit better. I almost tipped it right here, so it's really easy to tip this thing off of turns because of its weight. But here's me with a few people in the back. You can fit 2 more than the amount I had, and here's me trying to purposely tip it over, and it wouldn't do it when it was customized. Let's move on to the Toria Door. Up next, we have the Toria Door. Here's the stock version of it in in orange, and then the customized version is in red. They're very similar. As you can see, obviously the spoiler, the back window, the exhaust, the wheels, the side looks a little different. As far as the performance goes for it, here's the stock one, what it looks like on takeoff. Obviously, both of them can do the boost. And honorable thing to mention about this thing, it goes underwater, and it has sonar when it goes underwater, which is pretty cool. So basically, it's like a better Stromberg. Here's what I could do for top speed in well, not in terms of, but with the boost. So I don't really know what the top speed is just going flat, but with the boost it seems to be like 135, maybe 140. Here's the customized version of it. It definitely accelerates faster, but as far as hitting a top speed, it seems to do the same top speed and handles just about the same. So they're very similar, just visually they look a little different, aesthetically speaking. Let's move on to the next vehicle. Lastly, we have the Slam Truck, which to the right of it is the customized one, and the one in the black is the stock one. So obviously the grill looks different, the top exhausts are obviously different. And you can make them different colors. You can make them cool decal fun designs, like I've seen some pink ones, which is kind of cool. So definitely can be a lot cooler than that. One thing I noticed was it has a lot of wheel spin. The stock one got about 72 on the airport. So like wheel spin is a big one to this thing. It also has like a hydraulic system where it can go up and down, and the customized version of it was able to go up to 85 from what I noticed. So pretty good for the Slam Truck, not too bad. And the handling's about the same on the custom one. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for the video. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this. Obviously, the airport is not the best place to test top speed, but it gives you a general idea of how the vehicle is going to perform. It was really nice to see the customized version versus the stock version of each vehicle of the Cayo Perico DLC. And let me know also down in the comments if you guys would want to see a more in-depth video of each individual vehicle or specific vehicles where you'd like me to do a better analysis, better test, and go over different things. And also let me know if I missed anything, because I'm sure I did. And I really did try to keep this video under 10 minutes, but a video of this nature is really hard to keep under 10 minutes, and I do apologize for the length of it, but there was a lot of information that I tried to squeeze in such a small video. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching again, and as always, have a nice day.